Come on, you guys need to ask better questions. This is something that just boggles my mind. Whether if it's an interview situation, a dating situation, a coaching situation, if people don't ask better questions. And better questions, I don't mean by there is a list of questions that you should or should not ask. It's more to do with what are you actually curious about? What do you really want to ask someone? One of the most interesting questions that I ever gotten was that, am I married to Jack Ma? I thought that was the most hilarious question in the world. The person who asked it had a genuine curiosity around it. He really wanted to know if I was married to Jack Ma or not, which is amazing. And that is a question that I mention every single time. And you know what? It may have come across as an outlandish question. It may come across as like, well, I should know better. I assume better. And this is a reason why people need to lead with their curiosity and actually ask questions that they want to know the answers to. I think too many times, this is a weird thing that happens. Too many times people ask questions that they already know the answer to, which is weird because why would you ask a question that you already know the answer to? And I think a lot of it, I chalk it down to fear of judgment. Because if you already know how the person is going to answer your question, then if you ask that question, then it's a safe question to ask. But I really want to challenge all of you guys to actually ask a question you want an answer to. Okay? And the challenge begins right now. So in the comments, right now, in the chat, write a question you actually want to know an answer to from me or from the people in the chat. And I want to see where it comes up. And nothing is off limits, guys. You know, I'm open to every single question that you have. And I think when we start asking better questions in terms of things that we actually want to know, that's where we grow. And yes, some questions are uncomfortable. Some questions are very taboo, but you will not know the answers to it unless you actually ask the question. So at this point, I'm going to walk over to chat to see what you guys have got. What kind of questions do you have for me? Let me see. No questions. Oh, wow. There's some deep questions going on here. See, I love it. I love it. So Eddie Spidey's like, am I alive? So I think that's a question that you have for yourself. And Eddie Spidey's asking, am I a ghost? I don't know. I believe that the question that you're asking is to yourself. So you need to figure out if you're alive or not. If you want to ask me that question, and do I feel like I'm alive or am I a ghost? I don't know. I actually don't know. I think I do, one of the best questions someone has ever asked me before is that, have you been in a dream that you felt like it was real? Right? And how do you not know that you're not living a dream right now? The reality is you just don't know, right? And that's the fun of it. Okay, what else? Positive Academy is asking, how do I get out from the trap? Okay, well, it depends what kind of trap you're talking about. I think for me, the beginning of it is to make the decision that I am going to get out of this trap. And even the framing of the question, maybe you want to think about, instead of how to get out from the trap, you could make it very positive and say, how could I get out of this trap? Right? Make it exciting. So first, make the decision. When you make the decision that you're going to get out of something, that's when you start to find solutions around it, right? So you have the answers within you. Make the decision and then follow it up with a transition plan to actually get out of it. Okay, feel good from within. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. What do you love? What do you love doing apart from coaching? That's the main part of what I do. I love dancing. I love dancing and I love movement. I love anything that I can do with my body, that I could challenge my body with. So yesterday, when I was just having fun at the studio, I did a bunch of filming and a friend of mine was there and we decided to do this really fun dance lift. And we had no idea how to get into it. And it was just fun just to I can't even describe it. Like I had my leg around his back and then we were just kind of spinning in a circle. It was so much fun. So that's what I love to do. Feel good from within. I love to dance and I love anything with movement, any kind of movement, any kind of like that would actually physically challenge me. That's what I love to do. Okay, what other questions do we got here? Okay, Zaino's asking a question. Are you happy, Lily Ma? Also, what are things you feel you need to improve to reach your goals? Oh, this is such an amazing question. So Zaino, yes, I am very happy at this moment. And you know what? Here's the thing. I'm happy most of the time, but I'm also a very strong believer. I'm a strong believer in feeling all my emotions fully. There are times that I am fucking frustrated and I feel it fully. There are times that I'm fucking angry and I feel it fully, but I don't feel it for long periods of time. I feel it for a few minutes and I release and I let it go and I go on to the next thing. And a lot of the things that I've been trying to do is I've been trying to share those emotions with you guys on Instagram. And I feel like a lot of people are concerned that I'm not okay or, there's something going on. But the reality is, my emotions goes up and down. And this is something I've trained myself to do. I've trained myself to feel the whole spectrum of emotions as they come. I don't judge them. I feel it and then I release it. And I try to share some of that with you guys as well, because I think on Instagram, on YouTube, on everything, we have people in general, me too, has a tendency of curating a certain Photoshop version of themselves. And that's not what I want. Recently, I started swearing in my Instagram story and also my YouTube lives, as you guys have seen, because this is part of who I am. I don't want to curate myself, right? If I'm feeling a certain way, I'm going to show it. And I encourage all of you to do the same thing, because that's how you build true connections with people, when you really show up as yourself and not compromise who you are. It's really being who you are, not what you think other people want you to be. And this is the hardest thing that I had to overcome as a human being. It's really being myself and not worrying about how I should appear. And once I was able to grasp that concept and once I was able to live it, that's when a lot of wonderful things started to happen for me. I started coaching people who I actually wanted to coach. And people who wanted to be coached by me came to me, and they were not attracted to some false version of me. So I guess that's a question. That's the end. That's my answer to your question, Zaino. Also, what are the things that you feel you need to improve to reach your goals? Oh my God, I need to improve on everything. I need to improve on my camera skills. I need to be better in front of the camera. I need to be able to convey my message better. I need to get better as a coach. And one of the things I'm really working on to get better as a coach is to really call bullshit out when I see it. One of my superpowers is that I have incredible intuition. When I ask people a lot of questions, I already start to see what are the things that not what they need to hear, but what are the things that they're feeling. And one of the things that I regret a lot in my previous coaching sessions is the fact that I don't act on my intuition. I don't jump in when I know. Like sometimes, I know Evan has his 85 rule. When he's 85% sure, he jumps in. Sometimes I have been at like 90% and I have not jumped in. And that pisses me off, because that person could have gone along like a lot further if I was able to just jump in when I knew. So that's one of the things I'm really working on right now, is really jumping on my intuition and calling bullshit out when I see it. And that goes back to me not wanting to offend people. So that's something I'm working on. And what else am I working on? I think those are two main focus that I have right now, is getting better in front of the camera. And not getting better in front of the camera from a professional perspective, but really just being myself and really allowing that to show through. That's what I want. And then the other one is in my coaching, jumping on my intuition and acting upon it versus, trying to be nice and then going nowhere and tap dancing around the truth, which is not what I want. Okay, what else we got? Okay, feel good for also like dancing. Okay, any more questions we got here? Tracy has a question. What advice do you have for someone who can get over emotions as quickly as others? I don't know the question. Oh, can't. Oh, okay. Um, I think it's a practice to get into. This idea of really feeling your emotions is a very intense feeling. It's very intense. And I'm going to make this very comedic as well. So, have you guys, Tracy, and this is part of your question, have you guys ever been in a situation that you've been very angry at someone, right? Say a partner, a spouse, a friend, parent. You've been very angry at that person and you're feeling it. And then you realize to yourself that, like, shit, I'm no longer angry at that person. And then you become like this fucking amazing Academy Award winning actor and you continue on to be angry at that person because you're trying to prove a point. Have you ever been in that situation? So this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that emotions are false. Sometimes I feel like we like to trick ourselves into feeling emotions for far too long because we're trying to prove a point. Because I have been that fucking drama queen in my life, that I've been angry at someone. You know, I used to be married, so I was very angry at my ex-husband before. And then I'm feeling it, and then I 5 minutes later, I'm not fucking angry at him anymore, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking prove a point. I'm going to pretend to be angry. And then you trick your brain to continue to be angry and angry and angry. And then you keep that chronic habit going. So that's from a funny perspective. Yeah, Tracy's like, haha, yeah, exactly. We're not here to prove any point, right? Like if everybody just opens up their heart and really feel what they're feeling, and sure, maybe you're angry for 5 minutes, but you're not angry for the next 5 minutes, then so be it, right? So really feeling your emotions fully, and allowing yourself to fucking cry, get angry, or be extremely happy because some fucking amazing shit happened to you today and you just want to be so goddamn happy. Feel it fully. Feel it. Right? And then if it's a shitty ass situation, then it releases itself. Like, don't hold on to something to prove a point. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay? All right. And sometimes one of the things, I was being so dramatic a couple of days ago because something happened to me that I didn't want to talk about. And then I saw Evan the next day. And so I was telling him the story about what happened to me. And as I was speaking out those words, I realized how funny my story was and how stupid I sounded. And then he just had a big laugh at me and that thing was completely gone. So what I was over dramatizing, because in my head, I was attached to a story like, this is important shit. I need to feel this emotion fully and I need to feel it for like the entire fucking day and cry about it. Meanwhile, speaking it out loud to someone who could call me out on my bullshit, which is Evan, that it just went away really quickly and it was just a fun day. So that's my answer to your question, Tracy. Okay, Zaino. I like that you are starting cursing on camera lately. Some see it as a weakness, but I feel like it's needed to fully express your emotions sometimes. Yeah, so Zeno, here's the thing, right? I don't swear on certain people's channels. That's because it's out of respect for them. You know, so just kind of explain to you guys why I have been cursing on camera lately, because that's part of who I am. And I'm a coach. I have a coaching practice and I have a business. And if you work with me, at some point, I'm going to fucking swear, right? And I don't want people to be attracted to me, my perfect Photoshop professional version of me, because when you come in front of me, that's what you're going to see. And I get it for people who are on YouTube that you don't want to swear in front of the camera because you will get demonetized, right? If you do swear. And there's certain companies that will not want to partner up with you because you're swearing in front of the camera. So that's something that you need to be cognizant about. For me, my goal is not to monetize my YouTube channel. Sure, I want to grow it because I want to spread my message to many, many, many people, but it's not my goal is not to monetize my YouTube channel. So by me swearing on air doesn't really make a difference. By me swearing on my Instagram stories, it doesn't really make a difference because I'm not monetizing it. So it's a kind of a fine line in seeing where you're at, but I will never go on Evan's channel, for example, and swear. because I'm respectful of him. He has a certain intention around his YouTube channel, and a lot of teachers show his YouTube videos to young kids, and that's something that he doesn't want. And I have full respect for him, and I will never ever swear on his channel, right? Because I'm being respectful of his space. And in certain cultures, maybe I will not swear in front of them because, again, it's a respect for their culture. But if it's my own shit, fuck, who cares? I'll fucking swear. It's fine, right? All right, what else we got? Okay, Azano, Tracy, awesome. All right, guys, I gotta get going. I have a full day of coaching sessions today, which I love. So you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Today, again, I want to really encourage you guys to ask questions, and whatever kind of questions that you really want to know an answer to. One of the best questions that I've ever heard on a live stream was on Bo Hawkins's live stream on Facebook. And the question was, what's his favorite sex positions, right? Pretty amazing, right? Nothing is off limits. Ask away. It's fun. Okay, have an amazing day, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Bye-bye.